Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Monday, April 10th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Let's draw the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread. First card for today coming out right now is 3 of Wands in its reversal. We have been seeing this coming up. This is not the first time we've gotten that this week. We actually got it last week as well. There is some kind of blockage right now or anxiety, something that is preventing you right now from being able to make the plans that you want to make moving forward, or feeling like there is something that is obfuscated or blocking your view from being able to have more of those long-ranging plans. Let's see if we get some clarification on what that is. Next card we have coming through right now for our 5-card spread. This could be an issue that's resolving or occurring right now, specifically due to some outside sources around you that you don't feel are coming towards you in the degree or with the desire that you would ideally want right now. We are seeing that here with this Page of Pentacles. As a result, this might also be making you into a reflective moment where you yourself might be pulling back on your own energy in light of the fact that you're not seeing that reciprocity that you desire, and there is this kind of blockage in terms of the path going forward. Can I please get the center card in our 5-card spread? The next card we have center of our deck today is, I love this, I love this, I love this, because this is very intriguing. We see that there is an alteration point happening right now, because while there is something that we see is creating some prevention point in terms of blocking your plans going forward, we do see that you're very conscientious of it. You're very cognizant of it. You're noticing and seeing the source. You are doing the things that you need to adjust for it, either pulling your energy back or recognizing that the energy that's causing this blockage is one that isn't giving you the tangibles that you need in order to build forward. But you're not letting it stop you, because we do see here with this 10 of Cups, you're feeling very optimistic about the future. You have that manifestation in mind of what you would like that long-term future possibility to be. So as we've seen, this is a moment you're pulling your energy back from some places because you're focusing in that long-term future goal or perspective with a mind towards those energies you feel are not coming towards you in the degree or capacity that would allow you to integrate them into this long-term future plan or goal. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. The next card we have coming through in our 5-card spread, Emperor in its reversal. Emperor in its reversal. So what we're really seeing here is this could be feeling like a bit of a frustration point, because while we do see you are keeping everything very much focused right now on what you consider that long-term future goal that you are trying to achieve or go after, this is a lot of blocked energy around it, and it's going to feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is putting a lot of focus and direction on that path going forward for yourself, rejecting or moving away from any energies you don't feel are coming forward to the degree or with the consistency of a tangible offer that you would ideally desire. This is requiring you to potentially pull your own energy back because you feel it's creating this point of blockage here. And specifically, a lot of this energy that you're considering around this right now has to do with some anxiety or frustration around some masculine energy you may feel is in its Emperor in its reversal. What does an Emperor in its reversal energy look like? Well, this is coming through as energy that is not helpful, that is feeling somewhat authoritative, may even be feeling somewhat controlling, using its place or its power to in a way that is creating chaos instead of clarity. While for masculine energy right now, there is something about some offer not coming through to the degree or to the capacity that you would ideally need or require or desire right now. And even though you are keeping a very small, strong eye on that long-term future plan, that keen eye specifically towards these long-term goals and plans, at the same time you are feeling a bit out of control, a bit uncertain in terms of how to get control of this situation to help you get in that direction and zone again. Final card for our first 5-card spread, we've got coming through right now with the 7 of Wands. Going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that's not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. All that we're seeing here right now is feminine energy really feels like this is a matter of integrity, that they are working to stand in their integrity. They are trying to fight those battles, potentially even around or in the wake of a masculine energy they feel is not necessarily supportive, or in a way that feels somewhat controlling. This is that moment where, like, again, there's an observation of what's not working and a insistence on holding ground for that long-term future plan that you are focusing on right now, feminine. While for masculine, we're seeing much more the same energy, but with a very strong claim around their own direction. Masculine feeling some kind of loss of control in a situation or scenario, and really feeling like they have to stand in their integrity and kind of push back and fight against this in order to try to get some sense of powerful, positive progress and control back in their own energy. Let's get some clarity on these cards right now. Clarification between our Three of Wands in its reversal and our Page of Pentacles in its reversal. So some frustrations on offers coming through to the degree or capacity that you would desire, feeling like there are some kind of blockages points occurring here in terms of those long-term plans, even potentially pulling your own energy away from circumstances that aren't giving you that long-term plan. Clarification coming right now with, woo, there she is. We've got our Queen of Swords. We love to see her. Guys, this is going to feel like some titchy energy today. We've got a Queen of Swords out with an Emperor in its reversal. We've got a Queen of Swords out with an Emperor in its reversal. So watch your mouth. Watch your mouth today, my friends. Because what we're really seeing here, and again, it will hit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine, this is simply a matter of laying your boundaries. That you are calling a halt to something around some energy, or you are calling it like it is. There's some kind of energy around you that you don't feel is delivering the way you want it to deliver. It's creating a blockage in order for you to be able to make your short-term plans. And you are basically saying, that is it. That is enough. Give me what I need, or get out, please. Really coming through strongly here with this very firm, resilient Queen of Swords energy, standing their ground, holding their cause, and cutting away from any energy that isn't providing them the things that they need so that they can work towards these plans. While for masculine right now, this could be feeling like there is some circumstance or situation that you are feeling a blockage on, that you're not necessarily seeing the long-term ability to, you can't see what that long-term future plan is, and it's maybe making you have to pull back your own energy, because there is an energy of feminine around you right now that you really feel has these defenses up. They have put up their defenses, they put up their walls, and it is this energy that you are feeling the frustrations for, because it's almost a situation where it's like, even if you were going to come forward with an offer right now, you question whether this energy would even be willing to accept the small offer that you would be trying to make at this point, because there's been so much of a lack of clarity in terms of this. And that's what's put this energy of the feminine into this very defensive place. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Page of Wands and our Ten of Cups. Very different energy. So, putting a lot of attention right now on those things, situations, people, plans, progress that isn't yielding the things that you would ideally want it to yield, and maybe even rejecting or pushing away from those energies today, or pulling your own energy back, specifically because you're keeping a lot of your focus right now on that happy, long-term, successful future plan or outcome that you are now really kind of manifesting or seeing within your grasp. May I please have one card to clarify? Two cards coming out to clarify right now, and they are, oh my, this is some real pause energy. We keep seeing this Two of Swords here. We keep seeing that there is a course of action that is being laid out. There is a directionality. We see this directionality. What we're almost seeing here is an energy that's stuck between either waiting on an offer that isn't coming forward, and even if it did come forward, it looks like it would be like the smallest of offers, the smallest of crumbs, versus the energy of these long-term future plans or happiness or the ability to move forward in this way. This is a moment You're still holding on your action to a certain degree, waiting for your intuition to guide you in the right direction in terms of what to cut or what to end, simply because you're showing a difficulty or a reluctance to move away from keeping your options open. We see that here with that 8 of Cups in its reversal. Even while, I need to point out, like, what are these options that you're keeping open beyond, like, the ones that are going to lead you to the long-term future happiness versus the ones that seem like they're not coming forward to some degree? I think I understand why. I'm sure I know why we're going to get that clarification on it. Because the tangible is not here. So it's like someone's holding out their energy or their hope that someone's going to come up or come forward in a bigger way than they have to allow themselves to come in that capacity. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our 10 of Cups in combination with our Emperor energy in its reversal. Again, feeling like some very hairy energy today, because we're seeing here a lot of direction, a lot of emotional direction towards those long-term plans, those long-term progress that you're trying to make. Even in the middle, and this is going to feel different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. For feminine, feeling like there is potentially a block here as it relates to some manifestation of masculine that you feel is like putting some like unpositive control over the circumstances that you find yourself in, or maybe is coming across as controlling or not supportive, or only kind of moving in a way that serves themselves the best, and feeling like there is this conflict in trying to integrate this negative, this unhelpful masculine energy to a certain extent into those positive long-term plans. While for masculine, this is a moment where you're keeping a lot of focus on what you consider your ideal future outcome, but also feeling a lot of personal inability to move or maneuver or head in that direction, because you are feeling this like lack of control today within you. Continuing to get clarification between these two cards. May I please have one card, please? We've got two cards clarifying. There's that 4 of Wands in its reversal again. You see this blockage? Do you see this blockage in terms of the short-term plans? There's a frustration point that's being hit about feeling like there's something about the future that cannot be seen or cannot be planned for. Maybe even feeling like some plans that you had in place or were hoping to move forward on are now shifting, or they're not looking like they're going to be the reality that they were ideally going to be right now. Having a different effect depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, because what we're really seeing here is we could almost be seeing here a situation with feminine feeling like there's some kind of short-term plan that has been cast into problems due to this unhelpful energy of a masculine that is in its reversal. And the thing is that we think is really beautiful around this is even while some of these plans are falling apart, or there's some like cynicism as to like finding some kind of like positive resolution or positive future plan around this type of energy, we see that this is a moment that feminine is using this opportunity to build on their own stability, which we love. Like feminine's doubling down. We keep seeing this with the feminine. Feminine is doubling down on themselves in the face of problems as it relates to like their perception of the immediate future, or some issues with a masculine energy that's not coming forward in the way that they would desire. While for masculine energy, we are seeing here that there is a moment that they are feeling out of confidence, a lack of control, potentially around short-term situations or scenarios that are not turning out the way that they had hoped or planned or intended, putting a lot of attention and concentration on a representation of feminine during this time right now, right? Using this energy right now almost as a support system, or keeping a lot of focus right now on trying to move towards this manifestation of feminine who they feel is very grounded and very supported, though there may be some anxieties about the possibility of doing that, particularly because we saw that some of that energy is not only stable, but it's also got its boundaries up. Let us continue to get clarity on these cards right now. All right, clarification between our Emperor in its reversal in combination with our 7 of Wands. So a moment right now for masculine. This is a feeling of having a lack of control in some degree, in some capacity that you are struggling with, but using this not to kind of run away, but to really feel like you need to stand your ground and fight to defend these things, to fight to keep your to get your footing, even in the midst of not feeling at your most confident or supported. While for feminine right now, this is feeling like you need to potentially stand your ground to a certain extent, defend your integrity, push for your own desires, potentially in the energy of a masculine who you feel is not necessarily allowing some kind of support or assistance in this capacity, feeling like you're kind of on your own, maybe even having to push back against a masculine that is forcing you to have to stand like in this place because something about their way or that they're coming towards you feels a bit unhelpful or controlling. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, I love this, 3 of Swords in its reversal. We had this in our deck yesterday too. This is beautiful though, because what we really see, say it with me, it's a healing journey. It's a healing journey. So what we're seeing for masculine right now, there is something about feeling this lack of control coming through, holding and fighting to try to get some control back, because this is how they feel they're going to heal their heart space. That this is touching upon something that is very close to the masculine's heart, trying to really find a supportive way through this, because there's something here that they feel that to be able to go into this space to get their control back in this situation is what is going to allow their own heart to be able to heal. While for feminine right now, this is a moment that they may potentially be fighting back or pushing back against a manifestation of masculine that's either in like their, that's around them in some capacity or another, that they feel is having a non-helpful, how do I put it? A non-helpful influence on their immediate environment or their immediate emotionality, feeling like they need to fight against this to a certain extent, but also holding their ground, right? We see the feminine standing in her power on this, really fighting, because feminine is fighting to heal her heart in the face of this. So some of these walls we see feminine putting up around this masculine energy that they feel is not helpful, is not supportive. They are standing their ground. They are putting up their walls. They are fighting this fight, potentially even with themselves right now, so that they can continue on their healing journey. We love this. We love this. Tap that screen if you love this. Let's continue right now. Getting clarification right now between our Queen of Swords and our 8 of Cups in its reversal in combination with the 2 of Swords. So a moment today, again, for masculine energy, this is going to be feeling like there is a feminine manifestation that you may feel has some boundaries up, or is coming through with like a lot of defensiveness, or a lot of like just very, very protective of their energy, of the things that are important, maybe even feeling like a bit combative, but understanding that this is coming from a place of protection and trying to make some determinations on how to move forward and act specifically, but not necessarily knowing how to. We keep seeing that, right? We keep seeing the masculine energy is not sure what to do in this situation, why they're feeling some moments of feeling kind of out of control to a certain extent, right? Because they almost feel like the feminine's energy, the ball's in their court to one degree or another, but also waiting or holding their action, trying to wait for that intuitive insight in terms of what steps to take next in terms of this energy. And also feeling this very deep reluctance to walk away. While for feminine right now, this is holding in their power, not wanting to walk away potentially from some situations or circumstances. We see you holding your ground, but not being ready to cut things off, not being ready to let things go yet, just holding ground in terms of the space that you're keeping. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, wow, so much defensive energy today. So many walls up. 9 of Wands. So again, for feminine, like I said, not walking away, holding their ground. Not even like, I will point out, not even like reacting in an assertive way, not acting in an aggressive way, just holding their ground, defending their spot, refusing to give an inch, but also not coming forward. Feminine is in an entirely defensive zone right now. Absolutely defensive, right? While for masculine, this is a moment where you are in a space where you are looking towards a feminine that you recognize has their guard up, has put up their walls, has put up their boundaries, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to address this, waiting for some kind of intuitive guidance or sign in terms of how next to react, but feeling that need not to walk away, but also not taking action because they are feeling a lack of control And so they are also feeling very defensive. So a lot of guarded energy today, guys. A lot of guarded energy. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Two of Swords in combination with the Eight of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Queen of Pentacles. So again, for feminine, again, walls are up. Working on your own stability, working on your own security. A lot of attention just driven towards the self right now and creating this sense of comfort in this place that you've like, it's almost like the feminine is like hunkered down in their position and they're like, thou shalt not pass. Like that's what we really see the feminine doing. The feminine's really doing like a thou shall not pass. And in fact, not only shall thou not pass, I'm going to like make a nice little place here. I'm going to like get something to eat. You know what I mean? Like we definitely see this like protective energy coming through right now. But also feeling that inability to walk away from something, right? Just concentrating on that stability you're building for yourself. While for masculine, this is a moment, again, not necessarily making any moves, not necessarily being able to being sure what to do. Potentially, again, with a feminine energy in mind that you are looking towards that is creating some sense of stability around you right now as you are experiencing this, right? And feeling this inability to walk away. I will also point out, for some masculines, this is going to be more than one manifestation of feminine. Do you see what we see here? So for masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, this is either a singular feminine energy who is manifesting the qualities of security, but also boundaries. Or, because look at this too, look at this split, because this is where we're seeing a break off in the collective here from the masculine energy. Or this is representing a masculine who is unable to decide between a feminine energy that has its defenses up or a feminine energy that they are looking towards for a lot of a material stability, security, support. And it is this moment that they are trying to make a decision, but feeling that inability to make a choice or to walk away from either one of them. That's what this is. Okay. So getting clarification between those. Where were we? Hold on a minute. I got to figure out where I had these cards. Okay. So and also, sorry. And on top of that, I will also point out feeling some anxieties between what the future outlook is going to be, especially if there's two of them. I can understand why masculine, obviously. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification. Oh, Jesu Cristo. Clarification coming right now with our Four of Swords in its reversal. Situations from the past rising back up to the surface, needing to be dealt with, needing to be handled. What do we see here? Well, for feminine right now, again, there is this moment right now that is creating a space where you need to take some action. You are feeling the inability to walk away from something. You feel and you understand you need to make a choice on this. You're waiting for your intuition to guide you. You're working on your own stability right now with some anxiety for the future. But really, whatever you need to break free from is something that is connected to your past. This is something from your past that is holding on, holding you in place to a certain extent, and you're not ready to necessarily let it go right now. It just keeps resurfacing is what we're really seeing. While for masculine energy right now, this is a moment where you yourself are having an inability, thank you so much for the gift, an inability to walk away from some situations or circumstances, trying to make this choice, potentially even between two different feminine energies, or being unable to potentially make any cover any ground or get any clearance right now, with a lot of attention being directed towards a manifestation of feminine right now that creates a supportive environment for you in some way, shape, or form, but feeling a lot of anxiety about what the long-term, like the plans for the future look like around this energy, while having to deal. This could be a situation here with masculine where there's something about the things from the past causing issues in the present between them and their connection to this energy. And that is what's creating some doubts around this future situation or scenario. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now. Clarification between our Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Three of Swords. It's a healing journey. So for feminine right now, really putting all of this time and attention and care in the self, in the material world, in the material space. Feeling some anxiety about like the future plans, but really like almost not worrying about them so much because there's so much concentration on the healing. Feminine's like, I don't care about the future right now. All I care about is my healing, doing the work necessary to take care of this healing in the present with this idea that that will help build the future for them. While for masculine right now, there is a potentially a deep need to heal around a situation or circumstance that has something, or trying to create healing in a space that has situation or circumstance around a manifestation of feminine who they turn to for a lot of material support, but also feeling a lot of doubts about the possibility of that around some future plans that have been kind of cast into difficulty, either because this energy is focusing on itself or something from that past is rising up that is causing difficulty in terms of seeing the future outcome. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification, Ka Jizu, coming right now with the World in its reversal. Something is throwing chaos in the mix here. Something potentially even from the past is causing some chaos in the mix right now. And so it's dealing with this chaos, right? And this is where we see for masculine, this is the double disempowerment that they're feeling. There's something here that feels very much like it is not in their hands, that something has gone amiss, something has gone awry, potentially something from their past rising up that is causing these issues, trying to basically make some healing moment between this feminine energy that they feel that they turn to for a lot of this material support, but feeling a lot of chaos in the mix, or feeling like they're having this inability to make these changes themselves, which is probably why they're rushing so hard to stay connected to this like more maternal, supportive, feminine energy. While for feminine right now, this is just a moment. Feminine is like, you know what? Forget all of you people. Forget everything. Forget masculine right now. Feminine's like, whatever, masculine. I actually don't really care what you're doing, is what we're really seeing here. Because feminine today is just like, I am concentrating, like what we're really seeing here is feminine is just dealing with some drama. Feminine is dealing with some stuff. She's got some plans that are like up in the air. She's got some material stuff that needs, thank you for the gift, that needs to be taken care of right now. Girl's trying to heal her own heart. She's like, my hands are full. My hands are full. They're full of me. I'm trying to take care of myself in the best way possible right now. And some of them, I think it's really funny because we're also seeing here, some of them are trying to deal with that with like a very clingy masculine trying to come in and like get support on that as they're doing it. Right? Because that's where we see that other part coming in. So we do see that there. But we see here that there's a lot. This is a lot more course correction for the feminine energy right now. Thank you so much for the gift. This is a lot of course correction that we're seeing. For masculine, this is like something, and some of this course correction does have to do with some past things that occurred, right? And potentially some past things that occurred around a masculine. Potentially even doing like some cleanup, if you will. But for masculine, we see that something from the past has risen up that's caused some real issues between feminine, and this is them trying to course correct the relationship potentially that is involved around a feminine, and even some plans with that feminine. Continuing to get clarification now on these cards. Clarification. So everybody's got their guard up like crazy today. Everybody's got their guard up like crazy. Clarification between our Nine of Wands and our Four of Swords in its reversal. Feeling very protective today, putting up those defenses, not from a place of healing, like not from a place of like, you know, really like a lot of this. And for feminine, it'll feel a little bit better. We'll point out for feminine, this is feeling like better boundaries. Like this is coming through more like feminine recognizes that they're on a healing journey, but they're coming through with more proactive boundaries. For masculine, specifically because feminine feels they need to be in this space due to some situations or circumstances from the past that have required them to inhabit this energy or keep coming back up to the surface that they need to deal with and keep these boundaries up on. While for masculine, what we're really seeing is this is a moment where you are feeling like you've got your defenses up, because you're doing almost like a tit for tat here, because there's some energy There's some energy that you're putting a lot of thoughts on. This energy may be associated to some kind of feminine energy from the past for some of you masculines. I will also point out, if these are separate energies, that you are feeling very wounded around, but you also are not necessarily feeling like you can go towards, even though you're thinking about them a lot, because you feel like they probably have their boundaries up, maybe due to some situations or circumstances that required them to do so. Maybe thinking about how that might have had something to do with, where you both putting a lot of attention and kind of like, for masculine, what we're really seeing here is this is like, how did we get here kind of thing? How did we get here? Is what we're seeing. Masculines like hiding behind this, kind of nervous around this energy, because I almost feel like they're scared to see like what would happen if they were to reach out or something of that nature, but really being like thinking a lot about the past and being like, how did we get here kind of energy. May I please have one card to clarify? Hold on a minute. My cards got all out of sorts here. Clarification coming right now. Defensive about the past. 9 of Swords. Guys, why is everybody thinking about the past? Why has everyone got their guards up? Why is everyone letting these situations or circumstances from the past come back and haunt you? Because that's what we're seeing here. What we're really seeing here is we're seeing a lot of energy where everyone's got their protections up. Everyone's got all their boundaries up. Everyone's going in this like place where they're feeling like they're hurt, because some situations from the past are rising back up and they're haunting you. They're causing you some sort of grief or anxiety or fear. If it's not like tangible, like immediate frustration, it's certainly mental. There's a lot of like echoes here. It's like echoes of badness from the past rising up that's causing present grief, that is making you have these boundaries up for things that aren't even potentially happening anymore. I need to point out. For some of you, these are like not even tangible things. These might be like just memories of things. So for some, this will be tangible ways that the past is coming back up today. For others, this is just emotional. It's like the trauma. It's a trauma's rising back up, and it's got you in this place that you're feeling very defensive. But a trauma recognized is a trauma that can be worked on. And as I said, we are on a healing journey. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our 4 of Swords in its reversal in combination with the World in its reversal. So again, it's not going to feel easy today, guys, because what we're seeing is something from the past is rising up, be it tangibly or emotionally. And it's making you feel ungrounded today. It's making you feel like your manifestation powers are low, that you can't generate the change that you want. Because, why can't you? Because you're caught in the past. Because you're caught in the past, right? Being caught in the past will stop your ability to manifest in the present. We're seeing that here. Tangible or emotionally. Card of clarification. Ah! King of Pentacles in its reversal. King of Pentacles in its reversal. I can't make this up. Here's the combination to our Queen. Here's the combination to our Queen. Again, very hairy day for the masculine energy today, guys. Very hairy day. Because for masculines right now, I don't know what is climbing up out of the woodwork for you as it relates to the past. But we're seeing for masculine right now, masculine's got some energy right now that's got its boundaries up around it. Might even be more than one feminine energy that they can't have access to right now. Some issues around the near future are being called into question because of it. The masculine energy is feeling like way out of control. A lot of some past situations are coming up to haunt the masculine energy right now, making them feel even more like disempowered, and it's all resulting in the masculine energy feeling in this space right now where they feel they cannot materialize this point of stability for themselves right now, which is why, masculine, you're trying to put so much attention right now towards the feminine energy that's in their place of support, right? Even feeling that there is some anxiety about whether you can turn something around here, because clearly this energy is very focused on themselves and not potentially thinking a lot about what that future is with you. Tap that screen if this resonates, guys. While for feminine, as I said, did I stutter? The deck did not stutter. Feminine could give zeros right now about the masculine energy. Because there's something coming through right now for the feminine that we're seeing, that there's a lot of healing that's happening right now, a lot of boundaries up right now because of some manifestations of masculine energy potentially connected to their past that have caused that they've just looking at in a place where they've either been controlling or they've created these points of material instability in their own lives, which is why feminine is not feeling very optimistic about any of those long-term plans with those energies if they can't come forward in a way that is tangible, and they're concentrating so much on their own sense of stability. Continuing to get clarification between this Nine of Swords and this King of Pentacles in its reversal. For masculine, this is allowing a lot of doubts and anxieties and fears and to really crop up right now, which is not giving you, unfortunately for the masculine, what we're seeing is this isn't necessarily a healing moment as much, because at the moment, even though you're trying to heal, we're seeing that it's really putting you in a space where you're feeling very unstable. Or it could be vice versa. Either the feelings are making you feel unstable, or there's some kind of material instability you feel like you currently have right now that is causing these doubts or fears. While for feminine, there's some point of acknowledgement of the grief that you are having to kind of bear or hold right now, either due or associated or around a manifestation of masculine that was not able to come forward in a stable, supportive way, either in the past or in the immediate present. Either way, a lot of your attention directed towards this energy in this moment. Final card for today's draw. I like it. Finally, this card comes up in its upright. We've been getting this card in its reversal for flipping weeks. So I'm so glad to see it's coming up in its upright, because what we're really seeing here, listen, and I know masculine's like, what? Like what? Like what? But here, let me explain. Masculine, there's a victory point in this. There's a point of victory in this. Because there's something, what we're seeing for masculine is even there. I feel like that what we're really seeing here is this is a moment or opportunity where masculine is understanding something to a much bigger degree than they ever have allowed themselves before. So masculines, if you may be having this moment today, and we saw this because we did see a lot of cup cards, right? We've been seeing a lot of masculine cup cards coming up. So in a way, what we've been seeing for the masculine energy is that to a certain extent, there's almost been a blockage point, like a blockage point in feeling your feelings, and here's the thing, blocking your own emotions is not healing. I'm going to say it again, because I know the masculine energy probably doesn't get this. Blocking your emotions is not healing. We've been seeing so much reversed cup cards, particularly around the masculine. I think that what we're seeing here is that to a certain extent, masculine has been feeling like they've been putting off feeling these things, right? But because we see here that this is a moment of healing coming through, there is something about the masculine fully embracing and embodying these pains, these anxieties, these doubts, allowing them to come up to the surface for you today, masculine. Even if they're making you feel unstable, it's recognizing that these are present. That is the point of victory, because you cannot heal something unless you allow yourself to embody it. So for the masculine energy, this is going to feel extremely rough today, because what we see is happening is you are feeling so out of control, so disempowered to a certain extent, that it's leaving this opportunity for these emotions to really like come up and shake you and rattle you. But there's something here that you need to keep in mind. There's a higher victory coming through, and you being able to feel this. Being able to embody in this way is a part of your healing journey, is what we see. And that's the thing that I think that you've been resisting as it relates to the healing. While for feminine, what we're really seeing here is there is a moment right now where you are fully understanding and recognizing that a lot of the pain and the grief and the anxiety that you have been feeling isn't yours. isn't potentially yours. Potentially it is due to an energy, a manifestation of masculine that put these there around you, that created these in you, that is creating, you're realizing and recognizing that all of these grief, not all of them, but a majority of some of the grief that you've been carrying has been on account of this energy. And this is what is allowing you to take action. And what action do we see you taking? Putting up those boundaries. Your victory here is feminine allowing themselves to recognize that this energy, this feeling that they're embodying is a direct result. Thank you so much for the subscription, Firefly. Is a direct result of this outside energy. And it is this understanding that is allowing them to take the necessary strategic action, whether it be to cut things out entirely or to put up the boundaries right now, to allow this hurt to protect themselves from some of this pain that's coming from this direction. Bottom of the deck on this reading for today. Woohoo! Oh, Jesus. All right, so what we're seeing, okay. I'm not surprised because I believe it was yesterday, or we did see that the Empress card was in a reversal. All of this, whatever's been going on here. So again, it's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that that's not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, we are seeing that there is a moment that you are not feeling in your most high level of attraction. That your levels of generating love or attraction right now are probably feeling very low. We see that all your concentration right now is on your material comforts and setting up these boundaries. You're not really in a romantic mood, to be perfectly honest. You're just not in it. Like, why would you be? All the energy around you right now with the masculine is coming through in some way, shape, or form, or a lot of your attention is drawn towards the manifestations of masculine right now that you feel caused a lot of chaos. And so that anxiety around that chaotic energy that you've had to put your walls up is not really putting you in the most romantic of moods. And again, this is something that I think that is going to allow for this healing to occur as you go forward from this point, to let this heart space open again. This is why you're doing this healing work, to get yourself in a space where you are able to kind of allow yourself not only to love again, but to be loved, to be seen, to be able to generate that kind of desire for yourself and feel like it's a safe space to do it in. The Empress needs to feel safe and secure in order to be in her most robust energy. While for masculine, man, I don't know what you did. Maybe even to more than one representation of feminine right now. But you are not in connect. You are feeling like there's some kind of distance or separation point potentially between you and a feminine energy who is your heart's desire. And it's feeling this separation or putting a lot of, there's something here about this energy being one now that is like all you can really think about to a certain extent, but it's bottom of the deck and it's generating all of these issues around you. Because in some way, shape, or form, this being bottom of the deck is not in immediate vicinity. So it's almost like we're seeing here an energy where this is like all that's on your mind right now, but there's no way to access it, which is probably causing a lot of this chaos that we're seeing and kind of like all of this, like this emotionality to rise up, if you will. But again, I'm going to say it again, for both, it's okay because it's a healing journey. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of recording sent to you afterwards. Please keep in mind, if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay for a private reading. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. And please remember that I will never reach out to you for a reading. I will never inbox you for a reading. The only way you can book a reading with me is via my website. I want to thank you guys so much for having this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.